I really like the Eternal Reward. It's very rarely that a weapon is able to completely change a class's playstyle. Some other examples include the shields, the gunslinger, or even the bow. Let's look over the stats for it. The first stat, of course, is that as soon as you backstab someone, you will immediately disguise as them. On top of this, the corpse of your victim will disappear immediately. This stat is really the meat and potatoes of this weapon. Teammates who die to the Eternal Reward are much more difficult to spot than the other knives because it essentially just looks like they moved a little. Chain stabs and playing in crowded areas is much easier due to this. And because of this, the Eternal Reward is very rewarding for spies looking to clear out groups of enemies rather than focus key picks. Moreover, the knife also has the added bonus that when you stab an enemy who's being healed, the medic's beam will immediately swap onto you, allowing you to steal some health, buff, or even get an uber charge. But medics typically watch their baby boys with a hawk's gaze, so don't be surprised if you get into a shit show if you try to snag some health. The next stat down is the silent kill. One moment. The next stat down is the silent killer. This stat is often looked over, but I think it's a serious upside to the reward. Most of the time a spy is caught out during chain stabs from the screaming his victims make, and the iconic sound of a backstab. When someone's using the reward goes for a chain, the victims at the front have zero indication that all their friends are getting eaten up behind them. And generally speaking, the less noise you make as a spy, the safer you'll be. Now let's get into the downsides. First up is the 33% increase on your cloak drain rate. This stat is often overlooked, but it's a serious detriment to the spy's survivability. This stat takes players from 9 seconds of solid cloak all the way down to 6.5. 2.5 seconds lost of cloak is a lot to take away. Many cloak escapes come down to the nail in terms of you escaping too soon or getting around a corner in time. This stat can be counteracted by equipping the Let Ranger, which will counteract the downside and give you 11 seconds of cloak instead, which is plenty of room to move around with. Playing with the Dead Ringer also helps, as that watch gives you a speed boost to escape with, as well as instant cloaking rather than fading. But you're going to be dealing with inconsistent disguising already, so taking on an inconsistent cloak will give you no reliable way to get out of trouble. And lastly, getting your own disguise costs 100% of your cloak meter. Personally, I prefer the pre-Jungle Inferno no disguising at all balance, but I guess people complained. Who the hell complained about the... Anyways, if you're able to sit around and get 100% of your cloak meter, you're probably not doing your job correctly. So just consider the stat as letting you get a free disguise if you run across a free ammo pack, and also letting you get one free out of spawn. In conclusion, the Eternal Reward is a risky, sneaky weapon for spies looking to more easily plow through groups of unaware enemies. Is it unreliable? Yes. Is it worse than pre-Jungle Inferno? Hell yeah. But it's still the iconic stab and grab knife I know and love, and I'll keep pubbing with it for the foreseeable future.
I bid you to love me as you did, but I wish you to love me as you did.